Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'd like to give a shout out to my brother Philly Dom. I missed his live today, but I'd like to give a shout out to him for doing what he's doing. Another update on the migrant situation. If everybody have heard the story already or have seen the news, there's a lot of disgusting Americans out here right now. And they discussed it about the fact that now in the state of Maine, migrants will be living for free for 2 years in the new housing market out in Maine. I'm going to say this one more again. Migrants will be living free, 2 years rent paid out in Maine. Meanwhile, in Maine, you have a lot of people sleeping in tents around the roads, road crossings. Some of them are living in the woods. And you have people crossing the border, getting everything thrown at them. Now, the catch is, the new banger of this whole situation is that they're going to give these illegal aliens 2 years free in new housing apartment where they could have took the people from Maine that was living in the tents, living in the woods, living on a crossway. They could have put them in there for as long as they needed to get themselves together. So this is the new crisis going on in New York. But I'm proudly to say that Staten Island are standing up. Staten Island residents are right across the street in the shelter where they're at, making a lot of noise, making the migrants uncomfortable because they took all the migrants and they bust them from Texas, and we have to get upset at the governor from Texas for doing this because he's the one that keeps busing them from Texas to New York City. He's doing this. He's telling them it's a sanctuary state. You can get on the bus. Here's your ticket. Get on that bus and go to New York. This is what the mayor or the governor of Texas is doing. This is what he's doing. He's busing these people to New York City. See, what happened was ever since New York City and other places was sanctuary states, they said, you know what, let's throw them over there. We don't care if they have to feed homeless people. We don't care if they have to feed veterans. And let me tell you something. What needs to happen, a lot of people that is thinking about joining the military, don't do it. Don't do it until they start respecting Americans the right way. Don't do it until they start treating the first, second, and third generation of people who was veteran, who served in World War I, II, Vietnam, Desert Storm, wherever they served at, that's from this country. What they need to do is put a halt. People need to say, we're not going to join your military, fight for you, and you treat the first and second and third generation that was before us like garbage. So if you're doing that to them, what do you think you're going to do to us? This is what needs to happen. Americans need to start putting their foot down. There was one person in my comment section. I kind of got upset, but I understand where he's coming from. Instead of us crying about it, we have to do something about it. And we have to stop giving our bodies to these people who don't give a D about us. They worrying about everybody else, worrying about Ukraine, Israel, migrants, China, this, and this, and don't care about us. This needs to stop it some way, somehow. This needs to stop. Because I'm telling you right now, if you think that a lot of these migrants are coming here for a better life, which some of them are, if you think they all come here for a better life, you're sadly mistaken. All I'm telling you to do is we have to start getting together and we have to start training and we have to start protecting ourselves. Because a lot of these people are coming over here with no wives, no kids, and they look like they're soldiers. If you get my drift. If you get my drift, you know where I'm going with this. How are is America going to just go to sleep at night? All the people in the politics and all the people in D.C., how do you go to sleep at night knowing what you're doing to your own people? I mean, I would like to really know and understand what's really happening here. My brother and my sister, they was in the Navy for 25 years. Okay, God rest my sister. She passed, but my brother's still alive. They served the Navy for 25 years. So y'all gonna sit there and tell me that they're more important than the veterans and the homeless people that work so hard all their life, but something happened to them and they needed help. And instead of giving help to them, you left them in the street and said, oh, you could bring the migrants over here. Bring them over here. We don't care about what's going on with our own people. We're gonna bring the migrants here. We're gonna give them every accommodation possible. This is what y'all doing. Is that what's going on here? I mean, I know somebody is going to say some smart remarks. That's Biden's supporter. But I'm going to say this one more again, and I'm going to say it a trillion times over. If Donald J. Trump was running the country right now, do you understand none of this stuff would happen? Do you understand that the price of food and rent and everything else was down until he got pushed to the side and this guy came in? Y'all don't get this? Even to the Biden supporters, what are y'all thinking, man? You knew this would have never happened because when he was in office, he said, nope, they can't come here. We taking care of America first. Now look what happened. Now look what really happened. It blew up in our face. And other countries think this whole thing is a game. So now they think we're soft. So now they think they can just do anything they want and we're not going to do nothing. But I can tell you right now, I do speak to a lot of veterans, and these people are still in shape, and these people got what they got, and they're not playing. They said, you come on my land with that, then we're gonna have to be, you're gonna have to be checked. So don't think there's not a lot of veterans out there that's soft and running with their tail between their legs. Oh no. These veterans said, you come over here in my property with that, we got a problem. We gonna have a nice conversation. If y'all get my drift. We're going to have a nice, beautiful conversation, man. Shout out to the veterans out there, man. Ever since I was young, I always loved veterans. I always loved the United States service. I always loved it because it was like we got some strong men. And now you got women, but at the time, men that stood up for something, man. If you was a veteran when I was growing up, man, you was considered a hero. They used to have veterans come to our school. They used to have people that was in the service come to our school. Y'all remember that? In Career Day? Remember that? They would have the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, if you wanted to, after you graduated, if you wanted to go. Y'all remember that? Because it was a pride thing about being a veteran. Now they make it out to be a joke. And then you got the homeless people that run this country. Because remember, we run this country. We don't want to have to be electricians, the police department, the fire department, the construction, what they call interior decorators, security. What else you got here that run this country? You plumbers. We run this, man. And some of them felt on hard times and they had to do what they had to do, but now they live in the street and in shelters and in cars, in tents, in trucks, and vans, and nobody cares about them. This is horrible what's going on, but that's the latest news right now. They're going to get 2 years in the state of Maine, rent-free, and the new housing that just came in. Instead of saying, yo, we're going to bring our people that's from here, we're going to put them there until they get their self together. No, here we go again. Here we go again. Catering to them. And it's making my blood boil. I can't take this. Me seeing this is making me sick to my stomach. This is not fair at all. It's not fair. It is not fair. It's not. This is not no hate speech to YouTube because I know how sensitive y'all are. This is not no hate speech. This is being somebody that's from this country being very upset on what's going on. What this is. in some way, some down the line, we got to protect ourselves. We have to protect ourselves as American citizens. We got to do this. Because I see a bad thing getting even worse than what it is right now. I don't know if y'all know this, but now they went into Macy's and the migrants went into Macy's and stole. They got caught. They went in there and stole and got caught. Somebody had the video out there. They went into Macy's and went off. In Macy's. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to that 10,000. Right now, I'm almost at 4,000, but I'm trying my best. So I'm going to keep bringing the news and busting what's really going on here. Leave a comment. I like to thank all the people that's leaving comments. I like to thank all the people that's been emailing me stuff that I'm going to start doing lives on. I didn't forget about y'all. It's coming. Shout out to the brother Philly Don. That's a soldier. That's a human being. My spiritual brother for life. Shout out to him. Shout out to Michonne Denise. Please go join Michonne Denise's channel because trust me, besides the migrant, she gives what's going on. And I'm going to start doing that too. How in our neighborhood, which I don't live there no more, but the Black American neighborhood, how we are losing our minds. We have to get it together. So shout out to Michonne Denise. Check in effect. I don't know him, but I follow him on Instagram. Shout out to Ace Live, another brother that travels, goes everywhere. And shout out to my brother Brazilian. Yes, that's a black brother that speaks Brazilian. He's in Brazil having the time of his life. He wrote books. And get his book and also get Philly Don's book. This is Big Hawk. Until the next video. Peace, and I'm out of here.